Welcome to a special edition of our We on the Air as iMedia, the parent company for ShopHQ, finally announces their long-awaited yearly results for the year 2022. Yes, today is the day, and we're doing something a little different. We're recording this actually live as the events unfold. So here it is. Actually, it's a little after 7:30 Texas time. Their conference call started at 7:30, so it's just we're running a little bit late here. I don't know why it doesn't start it. I've got my computer up here, and the audio is up, and it's yeah. Please don't do that. And please don't do that. And anyway, so the audio is up on the computer, and they're not here. And what's this? Oh, come on. This is a joke now. No. I'm not going to fall for this. I refuse to fall for this. The event is just, they're running late. That's all it is. I'm sure they're running late. It's 7:33 now. Any moment, the big event. All right, I will read this. It's Monday, though. I mean, nothing. It's an announcement to make. They would have done it on Friday. So, and anyway. Well, Friday was a holiday, so actually they would have announced it. Anyway, what does this say? Okay. iMedia Brands Incorporated announced today. When was this? April 8th. That was Saturday. No company announces anything on Saturday. They made an announcement on Saturday. Announced today it has moved its earning. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. Has moved its earnings release date from Monday, April 10th to Wednesday, April 12th. So on Saturday, when businesses are closed, when no one is following the media, the investment world, and on the Easter holiday weekend, where you also have every other religion with events going on, so nobody's going to hear the announcement, they announce that they're moving it again. Now, before I read the rest of this, let's recap what's going on. If you're wondering, well, why does this matter? I want to explain why this matters in just a second here. So, here is the chain of events. On March 8th, 2023, iMedia announced that they were going to do their year-end report on March 22nd. On March 20th, they announced, no, we're going to do it on March 28th. Then on March 27th, they announced that they're going to do it on April 10th. And then on April 8th, they announced they're going to do it on April 12th. This is a joke. And I don't mean in a ha-ha funny way. This really is. Let me give you an idea. Why does this matter, first off? Who cares? If you're just a casual viewer of ShopHQ, you probably don't. And in fact, most people wouldn't care. But to the investment world, this is big. And I said this on a past show. People say, well, the networks don't care about the viewers anymore. And I acknowledged, well, you're right. Shopping networks, and I hate to say it, it's true for most of retail, what they care about are the investors. Because that's their real bread and butter, are the investors. And and the investment community looks for these events. Because when you announce your year-end, your fourth quarter sales, which again is holiday, and year-end sales, that is a much anticipated event. Their year-end, remember, corporate years can run on a different calendar than regular years. Their corporate year ended on January 31st. Let me give you an idea of some other companies whose calendars, their corporate calendars, ended around the same time when they did their announcement of their yearly earnings. Target Corporation, their year ended January 29th. They made their announcement of their yearly sales February 28th, not even a month later. Lowe's, their calendar year ended February 3rd. So a couple days after iMedia. They made their announcement March 1st. Macy's, their calendar year ended January 28th. They made their announcement March 2nd. All it is, and I say all it is, but what it is the big announcement of here was our sales for the past year. Here is how much money we made or lost. And are we doing dividends? Are we giving a bit? What's the status of that? The investment world cares deeply about this, and it can make a stock go up or down accordingly. Right now, as we talk about their stock, it's at 50 cents a share. Now, the markets haven't opened yet today, so we'll see what happens. 50 cents a share, again, puts them at risk for delisting, meaning NASDAQ would no longer carry their stock, and they would have to go to what's called over-the-counter. And again, you could still invest in it, but you don't want that to happen to you. So far, I've heard of them doing nothing to prevent this from happening. There was one other announcement that was made over this weekend that you would have to dig to find out about, and it was an SEC filing. The SEC is the Securities and Exchange Commission. I'm really trying not to make this too boring for people that don't care about this stuff, but if you care about the sake of in the future of this industry, there's some things going on here that I want to get out there. Every corporation has a board of directors, and it's the board of directors that really guides the company. They're the people that are looking for the CEO. They're the people that hopefully every one of them brings to the table something that's important, that's going to help the business. When we say business, again, we're talking about the entire corporation. Obviously, with iMedia, ShopHQ is the biggest part of that corporation. So the board of directors is very important. They had 8 directors on their board of directors. Nothing unusual about that. Most companies do. Very quietly, effective April 3rd, and again, this was just announced over the weekend as well. Not in a press release, but just in a filing to the Securities and Exchange Commission. So very quietly, they increased the size of their board from 8 to 10. The names of the 2 people being brought on board are important. They're not household names by any means. But the fact they're bringing these 2 individuals on board leads me to believe something is up. And again, there's been no real press release about this. They're bringing on board 2 people to their board of directors, Jill Frisley and Stephen Panagos. And I am notorious for blowing names, so I probably blew their names, and I apologize. 2 names, again, that I know none of you have probably ever heard of. The reason they are important is their resumes, because everyone that serves on a board should bring something to the table. The board of directors should be a diverse group with no nepotism. We'll get to that in just a second. So what do they each bring to the board? Why would iMedia want these 2 people to be on their board of directors? Look at their resumes. Each one is well known for corporate turnarounds, and they each have on their resume helping struggling companies turn around and rebuild their business. I am inclined to believe that there is some recognition finally among this board that what we're doing isn't working and we need some help turning around ShopHQ and iMedia. And that's why these 2 people are being brought on board. It could be totally different reasons I don't know about. But it's very suspicious that 2 people are now, because they had to vote to increase the size of their board from 8 to 10. And that's not easy to do, but their board agreed. And they had to agree that these 2 people are the 2, and they bring something to the table. And isn't it a coincidence that they're each notorious? You can go on their LinkedIns and find this for corporate turnarounds. Now, what kind of a corporate turnaround would ShopHQ be wanting to do? I would only hope, because let me back up a second, because again, this goes back to the press release, which wasn't this, but that they were moving their date. And so the CEO, Tim Peterman, who's on the board of directors, getting to that in a second, says, "We appreciate our investors and other stakeholders' patience with us over the past several weeks, and I personally apologize for this delay. We are in the final stages of completing 5 financing transactions that we intend to close simultaneously." Stop there for a second. 5 transactions. They announced the sale of 3 buildings. What are the other 2? That's my big question. 5 transactions. Interesting. These transactions, let me back up. When completed, these transactions will materially decrease our outstanding debt and improve our credit profile as a company. We expect these transactions to close on Monday or Tuesday. Somehow I have a feeling we might be back to, will it happen? We'll see. Expected to close Monday or Tuesday. Where did I leave off? As we work through the weekend to finalize the complexities one might expect with simultaneously closing of multiple transactions. Now, let's just stop right here and think about this for a second. The announcement that we're supposed to be hearing are about year-end sales. all they're supposed to do, and you can read archives of their past and QVCs if you want to go back and look at those when they do their year-end announcement. Here's our sales for the previous year. That's all this announcement needs to be. This transaction has nothing to do with the sales that happened last year. The year ended January 31st. You get an accountant working on the numbers. You come out, you announce and say, hey, here's our sales. Here's the money we made or didn't make. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions? I'm simplifying it, but that's about it. This transaction, these sales, have nothing to do with the money that they did last year. So are the announced sales going to be that bad that they need something good to put into this announcement? I don't know. We will find out when we find out. I've stopped myself from saying on Wednesday because who knows? So it's very interesting. So let's get back to these two people that are being added to the board of directors. Most people have no idea who sits on a board of directors, and I would understand that. The 8 individuals that are on the iMedia, parent company of ShopHQ board of directors, most of them I've never heard of. Landell Hobbs, no idea who he is. Tim Peterman, just mentioned him, CEO. One of the things about who you put on the board of directors, they should each be diverse, and it is not considered a good practice to have people serving on the board of directors that are also CEOs, other paid staff within the organization, executive directors. In fact, it's illegal in some states to do that. Not where this board is set up in Minnesota, so they can do that. And you don't want people on the board of directors who have a conflict of interest within the company itself. Who else is on the board of directors? Well, let me go through some more of these names. I mentioned Tim Peterman, Alan Eldworth, no idea. Jill Kruger, no idea. Daryl Porter, no idea. Aaron Reithoff, no idea. Tim Peterman, I mentioned. Michael Friedman, I know Michael Friedman, nice guy. We've gotten along beautifully over the years. He has been an owner and officer of Sterling Time, LLC, which is the exclusive distributor of Invicta Watch Company of America. Conflict of interest? Yeah, maybe. But anyway, so I know him, and nice enough guy. And then, of course, Lalo of Invicta, who I also know. And so that's their board. And then now these two people that are known for turnaround. So it's a very strange little, and maybe I'm reading more into this than I should be, but I think the announcement, whenever it's made, is going to be interesting. And short of the announcement being, you know what, we're taking the whole network off the air, and we're going online, and we're going into apps, and we're doing all of this, I'm not sure what the turnaround answer is going to be. You can have all the money in the bank you want. I mean, maybe the sale of this building is going to pay down all their debt, and great. It's still, you're in an industry where you're trying to sell watches to men on television, and men aren't watching television, and even the women are tuning in less and less. So it'd be interesting to see what these turnaround people do. Maybe they have an idea. I will say this, and we'll go into more in this on a later show. QVC, Qrate might be getting something right. They have a brand new app out now designed to go after younger people, and it's basically taking shopping and making it look like TikTok. I got to admit, I've just played with the app for a couple days now. I'm impressed. So they might be getting something right, and this is something else that they didn't. They should have announced that they were doing and working on, because it's fantastic. But no, they put out hot chocolate movies. Well, this is all I got for today. I planned this. So what else can we do? You know what? Let's listen to a tiny bit of me. This is from 2002, selling a computer. You'll hear a little bit of me, and then let's, because we did very well with our computer shows back at Shop NBC. Very well. Made a lot of money off of those shows, as a matter of fact. I held the record for sales for a show for quite a while because of the sales I did in a computer show. So let's go back and see what a computer got you. By the way, for $1,500, let's see what you got for that for that money in a desktop computer.
Here's where we're at. Under a half hour to go for anybody that is just joining us. Maybe the first time you're even seeing this computer. We're going to take you through an explanation. What is involved here? We're going to come back and demonstrate some more, but here's your new computer. Watch.
The latest system from the computer store has everything you need for the complete computing experience. Names that you trust, like Intel. This computer is loaded with speed, utilizing the blazing fast Pentium 4 2.0 GHz processor. From Microsoft, Windows XP Home Edition operating software. From Western Digital, an 80-gigabyte hard drive plus 256 megabytes of extended memory for storing an incredible amount of information. Downloading and saving information is a snap with the combination CD rewrite DVD drive. And there's everything you need for internet access, a 56K modem, an Ethernet port for broadband, and now get America's #1 internet service provider, America Online 7.0, preloaded right on your computer. But that's not all. We've also added these great essentials to make it the most complete deal we've ever offered. The all-new Lexmark X75. Not only does the X75 copy, scan, and print in photo picture quality, the one-touch buttons located right on the top of the unit make it so easy to use. Plus, its new design takes up less space on your computer desk. And right now, receive a 50% print save.
Last chance to talk
Now,
computers
audio
with
got
us,
out
and
there
we
at
haven't had
the
any
end,
questions
and
sent
so
down,
the
so
No, we haven't. So
I hope we're answering them all.
You know what, I'll tell you.
all
I'll
yours
tell
for
you
$1,500. So yes, step right up, friends, and get yours. You know, all this vintage technology becoming thing again in old iPods and digital cameras. True, that's a thing. The early 2000 digital cameras have become a thing again. So very hot among millennials, or Generation Z, I guess it is. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You never miss a show. Plus, you can listen to the archive of past shows. I hope you'll check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Sean Wilsey, and on Instagram at SWilsey. Talk to you later this week, I hope. This has been a King Bobby production.
Yes, I know, Travis. That's why we give such bargains.